Hey everybody, I'm just on my way to the gas station. I wanted to make a quick video I've been meaning to make for a while. Before Facebook puts me in Facebook jail and I can't, or deletes my account or something, they keep they keep censoring everything I post. It's an actual book, and that I've been posting photos of about the Illuminati, about the New World Order. It's a real book. And they're saying it's false information. It's not false information. Everything that's true is false. I mean, they're censoring posts about with a flower on it that says sometimes you can't go with the crowd, you got to stand alone. And they're saying it's inciting violence and, whatever. It's like they're really trying to push their communism on people, like this control, like you will stick with the majority and do what we tell you or whatever. You're not allowed to be a free thinker. You're not allowed to post anything that we control everything. I'm so sick of this Nazi communist socialist garbage. It's satanic. It is satanic. Everything in the Bible is coming to pass. If you people don't see that by now, then you're insane. And they're blocking it. They're blocking it. And so now we got this New World Order book that everybody's showing. It says exactly what their plans are. And they're saying it's not real and, false information. They always do that. That's how you know it's real. They don't want the truth out there. And then another thing that I've been wanting to tell you guys is the other day Donna had to get a new debit card. Now, the new technology is no longer just a chip. There's no strip on it. No more swiping and chipping. Now it's hover the card over the screen. Just wave the card. That's the new technology. People, that is just as the chip in the card and in your license and everything, it is the mark of the beast system. I'm telling you right now, the next thing is that new technology where you just wave your card, your debit card or your credit card over a device and it works, right? Why are they coming up with that? I'll tell you why. Because the next phase is a chip implant in your hand or forehead. So you have to wave your hand. The mark of the beast will be something that you can't buy, sell, trade, or own anything, work, whatever, travel without it implanted in your hand or forehead. And you're going to have to wave it over a device. No more cash or credit cards or licenses or anything. It's all right here on this chip in your hand. Cashless society. You are now chipped and owned. You are government property. You belong to the devil, according to God, and you will go to hell if you receive that. This vaccination is a precursor to it. It's a trial test run to wipe out 2/3 of the population, and it'll be easier to chip the rest. And most of the people who are taking the vaccines and stuff, they already know who's going to comply easily and who's not. And they will round up and get rid of, imprison and kill the ones who do not comply easily, like the anti-vaxxers, people like me. And so they know we're not going to get the chip because we're onto it, right? So they're going to block everything I post that shows their plans. They're going to make us look like crazy conspiracy theories, and the idiots who got vaxxed and the people who don't know the Bible are going to think that we're all cuckoo Christians and, all that stuff. And so they're going to believe the media and the government. And even if they don't believe it, they're too darn scared. They're too darn scared to resist. They don't want to lose their homes, their jobs, whatever. So they're not going to resist. They're going to just do whatever they tell you. They tell you to stand on their head, they're going to stand on their head. They tell you to take the mark of the beast in their hand, they're going to take the mark of the beast in their hand. A lot of these people don't care because they don't have Christ. That's why we told them, you have to have Christ, you have to have Christ, you have to have Christ. They didn't, and now they're going to be deceived. God is pulling his hand of protection off, and the beast has been released, and things are speeding up for the tribulation in the end. And the majority of society who doesn't know Christ, who doesn't have Christ, who doesn't know the Bible, are going to go and fall for all of this. So, this is the issue we are dealing with. I try not to judge people, but I'm sitting in my car watching people. I won't miss most of humanity either. I'm sorry, I'm so terrible Christian, but I'm just so fed up. I want a cabin in the woods far away from everybody. How about you guys all kill each other and do your own New World Order thing? Leave me alone. How about that? Let me just give me a mountaintop somewhere. Leave me alone. Let me grow my own stuff. Fish, hunt, whatever, live off the grid and die a natural death. I don't want any part of this, and I certainly am getting sick and tired of this wicked society. Like, just, they're all irritating me. Just because they're, from the way they dress to the way they act to the way they blast their profane music and sag their pants down to the way they're doing their drugs all the time. Everything is just, all right, I'm getting off track. I can't stand non-Christians anymore. I really can't. All right. Anyway, the point is, mark my words, this new technology is coming fast. Swipe everything. Just hover over and boom, it'll scan like that. It's like scanning your barcode. That is to get people ready. And then once they force the mark in a few years, the chip implant or the tattoo or whatever it's going to be, that the Bible says do not get implanted into your body, which is another reason why they want to change your RNA through the vaccine, to get you ready so that this thing will implant in your body and you'll be on the grid. So that's it. That's the case. And this is what's going on. You want to say it's conspiracy theory? Why don't you read your books? Because this stuff has been written in books going back into the 80s and before. It's happening now. And because it's so right under our nose, most people don't believe it. They think, oh, come on, it would never be that obvious. Oh, come on, it wouldn't be right under your nose like that. Everything's done in secret. Well, yeah, it's done in secret, but it's also done right out in the open. And they even put it in movies and music and everything to get you subconsciously, see, this is where people don't know anything about psychology and how the brain works, subconsciously brainwash and get them ready so that it's normal. Why do you think that they're showing all this stuff about aliens and stuff lately and nobody seems to care? That came out public also soon as COVID hit and then BLM hit and all these things. And so it's like people are just like, whatever, who cares anymore? They're so sick of being programmed and hearing about it. Nobody's surprised if there's aliens. We know it. We know they exist. We don't care. You know, like, and so that's going to be part of the Great Deception also. They get you so programmed through media, TV, advertisements, radio, songs, that you're just so sick of hearing about it, and you just go with the flow. It's like, okay, that's just life. It's a permanent part of society now. And everything and anything to distract you from the truth of the Bible. Nobody wants to listen to that or believe that. Even though it is historically accurate, it is archaeologically accurate. Nobody wants to believe that. But they'll believe everything the media tells them about viruses that they created and unleashed on us purposely as part of a phase, a plan, and whatever. I'm just, you know what, by now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go stick your head back in the sand. You're an ostrich. You're stupid. You know what? As stupid as stupid does. You deserve to be brainwashed and chipped and implanted and vaxxed and everything, and just you're gonna become one of the sheeple. That's all. Whatever. We warned you. And I've been warning, and I've been trying to prove through videos, through books, through everything, that I'm right and what's going on. And not just me, but millions of us around the world, especially as Christians. And it falls on deaf ears because people either don't believe it, don't want to believe it, or they don't want to know. That's the thing. Most of you just don't want to know the truth because it scares you. And because you already know that you're not willing to resist. You're going to comply because you don't want to die, you don't want to be arrested, you don't want to lose your home, well, guess what? Once they get to where they want anyway, and you're all chipped and marked and they own you and you're controlled or dead, they're going to take your money. They're going to take your property. It's all part of the plan. You will own nothing and love it. Look it up. You don't know what communism is, do you? It's like the rise of the new Roman Empire because that's how Rome was. Rome was like Hitler, basically. Caesar and Rome, terrible. And they always persecuted the Christians because we had the truth. And then they fell. And the Holy Roman Empire came up, right? We had the Vatican and stuff. And then Hitler tried to continue on the plan. And now this. I mean, it just keeps going. This is the devil's attempt. He never stops until he fulfills it. And God's going to allow it. And we know this because the Bible says so. So we Christians are not surprised at what's happening. It's happening quicker than we hoped, quicker than we thought it would. But God said if he didn't shorten the times, God already knew what they were going to be doing and stuff. That's why it's written in the Bible. They already warned us what to look for and what's going to happen and how this is going to go down. It's like watching a movie. It's already filmed and produced and it's out on DVD. And now you just sit down and you watch it all unravel. And that's what's happening. And we're all in it. You better start believing in Bible stories because you're in one. You better start believing in this stuff. It's like you're in a movie. Anyway, I know it's going to fall on deaf ears, and less people are watching these videos, and I'm starting to think it's not that they don't want to watch them, it's that they're not being allowed to watch them. The algorithms are blocking it. Trust me, I know I'm a marked man. I know they've been watching me for a long time. I know they know where I am, who I am, and when they want to come and round us up. They know how I feel and where I stand, and that they know, so I'll probably be martyred. But whatever. In the meantime, I'm not surprised because Jesus said this would happen. I chose him over them, over the world, over the devil, and this is what you get. So again, this new technology coming out, I have to tell you, it's because it's getting ready to just wave your card in front of everything now. You don't need to stick the card in and get into the chip reader. You don't need to swipe anything anymore. You just need to wave. And that's to get us ready so that once you are a walking credit card, ATM, cell phone, everything, you just swipe and all your information's on there. And no need for cash or change or debit cards or credit cards or any of that stuff anymore. It's all on your chip. You'll have a social credit score as well, like they already do in China. And you will be owned and controlled by the elite who work for the New World Order, which is run by the Antichrist, Satan. It's not hidden from plain sight. It's in plain sight. It's common knowledge. It's happening. It's already here. The devil's already here. The Antichrist is already alive and well. He just hasn't stepped onto the scene yet. Soon. And the Bible told us all this before it happened. And that's why they tried to keep people from believing in the Bible and from reading the Bible, and they took it out of public places so that you would not recognize the signs of the time and what's really going on. I'm telling you, I think only real Christians know, and the rest are blinded and deceived, or they think it's conspiracy or whatever. Your only hope of survival is Christ. If you don't have him, you can't have him if you don't live for him and obey him. And even if you do, once you do that, you're going to have to be ready for whatever happens to us Christians. And I think that's another reason. I think a lot of people know we're right, but they're too scared to become a Christian. They're too weak. They don't want to give up their sins. They don't want to obey God. And they're just too weak. They know they're not willing to die for Christ. They know that they're not willing to be persecuted or lose their home, their jobs, their family, whatever. So they're just going to comply to save their own tail, to save their own life. That's why Jesus said people will do that and they will go to hell. Or they'll take the mark of the beast. Those kind of people will take the mark of the beast because they're the same kind of people who wore the masks without a problem, who bought into this whole COVID thing without a problem, who took the vaccine without a problem, and now they're pushing other people to do it. And then once the mark of the beast comes and people start getting chipped or marked, they're going to start forcing non-chipped people, non-marked people to get it. They're going to keep pressuring that, just like they pressure us about, you got to get the vax, you got to get the vax, you got to get the vax. I want to take those needles and shove them where the sun don't shine up you. Like, I'm sick of hearing about it. Leave me alone. I don't want the vax. I'm not getting the vax. That's it. I'd rather die. Put a bullet in my head instead of that vax. I don't want it. And I certainly don't want the mark of the beast. if that's not the back. And you know what? That thing is looking more and more like the mark of the beast. If it's not a precursor to it, if it's not the actual mark of the beast, it's a precursor to it, or it has something to do with getting people ready for it. Either way, as far as I'm concerned, the mark of the beast system's here. The trial runs are already, they're going to start out with the vax, and then they're going to keep mandating. They're going to take more and more of your freedom away, and then make more and more things mandatory. Until, now you need this mark, this chip, whatever it is. And if you don't do it, then you can't buy, sell, or trade. You can't have a business. You can't own anything. You can't work. You can't eat. And then we're not going to let you just walk around as a vagrant, so we're going to round you up and put you in a concentration camp where you'll be tortured and killed. Most people don't want that. They're scared. I don't blame them. And they're not going to be able to have the courage to go through that without Jesus living on the inside of them, who already went through it himself, and now will go through it again with us. And he will equip us to do it. And nobody's going to watch this video. They're going to turn it off within 2 seconds. People are losing. I'm losing popularity because, 1, people don't believe me. Or 2, they don't want to believe me. Or 3, my videos scare them. And they want to be able to sleep at night and have a clear conscience. They don't want to have a guilty conscience, a sin conscience. They want to continue just living with their head in the sand. They don't want to face reality. And people like me irritate their demons. And so they just, that's it. They just ignore me and block me out and don't watch my videos and think I'm insane and tell themselves all these lies. That these Christians are the problem and they're the kooks and this whole thing, use your brain. How stupid is this? How stupid can you be? You got to get the vaccine to be protected from COVID. Now that most people got the vax, it doesn't protect you from getting COVID. You can still get COVID, so that means that all the non-vax have to get vaxxed. Because until all the non-vax get vaxxed, you're still at risk. Well, then why did you need the vaccine in the first place, since it doesn't work? And people, instead of saying, duh, gee, something's up here. Why did you lie to me and make me take this vax when it doesn't work? And it's making people sick and they're dying of heart problems and everything else. And it's changing our RNA. Oh, no. No, instead now you know what it is? Because they know that the majority is like, oh shit, sorry, excuse me. Oh crap, we're screwed. This is bad. We probably just took the mark of the beast. This thing's probably going to kill us. You know what? Misery loves company. I don't want to be the only one, so I'm going to make sure that Steve Dinell and everybody else who's not vaxxed gets vaxxed too. You're going to go down with the ship. If I'm going down, you're all going down. That's the mentality, that mob mentality. It went from, oh, I'm so scared I'm going to lose my life because I don't know Jesus and I'm not going to heaven when I die, so I don't want to die. So I'm going to get vaxxed to protect my life. And then, oh, I fell for this lie and I don't want to admit how stupid I was that I fell for this. So the Christians were right. So I'm going to make sure that everybody who warned me not to take it has to get vaxxed too. That's what this is about now. That's why all these people who are already vaxxed are so on board with getting everybody else vaxxed, because misery loves company, and they're like, heck, if I'm already vaxxed, then you should be vaxxed too. If I was forced to be vaxxed, then it's not fair unless everybody has to get vaxxed. That's disgusting. So if you want to do drugs and ruin your organs, I should have to ruin my organs too, because you made a bad choice. If you're going to hell, I should have to go to hell too, because you chose to serve Satan in the world and not listen to Christ, so we should all go with you? That's Satan mentality. Satan wants everybody in hell because he's going to hell. And he knows that we don't have to as humans. So he wants us to go down with the ship as well, because he knows he doesn't have a chance to get back to heaven. It's done. He's condemned. So now he wants everybody else to go to hell with him. Can't beat him, join him, right? You know, that's what it is. It's like, it's misery loves company. And that's what these godless people, lawless generation is all about. Well, just like people with AIDS who go around not telling people they have AIDS and try to infect as many people as they can because they are dying of AIDS and they're stuck with it. So they want everybody else to have to suffer and die with them. And it's so selfish. Vaxxers are selfish. You say the anti-vaxxers are selfish? I never had COVID yet, praise God. Okay? I never had COVID. And so I can't give you something I don't have and never had. And I've been around a lot of people with COVID. And I've been around people who have been vaxxed. And I know people who were vaxxed who got COVID 3 times already. I know people who had COVID and then got vaxxed. And then got sick again. So the people who weren't vaxxed got COVID. The people who are vaxxed get COVID 3 times more. It's not coming from unvaxxed people, especially since most of us who are unvaxxed, a lot of us never even had COVID to begin with. Not yet, anyway. So how am I giving it to you? And hello, again, the whole point of vaccines has always been to protect you from having to get sick. This is the first time in history where we have a vaccine that doesn't work, but is actually being forced on people. We've never forced a vaccine in history. And we've survived the bubonic plague and polio and all these other things. People will say, oh, thank God for the vaccine. There wasn't always a vaccine until recent times. So we've survived, okay? It wasn't an apocalypse. And it's part of nature's cycle. So don't sit there and tell me that I have to get vaxxed. I should have a right to die naturally if I want from COVID. I have a right to take the risk. I'm not even around people that often. And it's my body, my choice. Why is it your body, your choice when you do drugs and marijuana and it's legalized? Why is it your body, your choice to rip a baby out of your womb multiple times? I know people who had 10 abortions. Sick, 10 abortions. As if one wasn't a mistake. My body, my choice. I can tattoo my body, I can pierce it, I can do whatever I want. But the same doesn't apply to me? You double standard hypocrite. My body, my choice. I don't want tattoos. I don't want vaccines. I don't want piercings. I don't want abortion. I don't want to use a condom. I don't want my tubes tied. My body, my choice. This is garbage. It's so evil mentality when it's double standard like that. Do as I say, not as I do. Or I do it, so you got to do it. No, there's something called democracy and freedom, which we no longer have because we are now a communist nation. And you guys let this happen, and the Bible warned it was going to happen, and Mary came down from heaven and gave the Fatima warnings that this was going to happen, and it happened. And you know why the Pope didn't do what she said? Because the Pope knew that communists were put into the Vatican to control the Pope so that he wouldn't do what God said to do in order to protect this from happening. Satan was already in the Vatican. He had people in there, and that's why he never consecrated Russia to the Immaculate Heart as instructed. He did everything but what she told him. He did the world and other things, but he never did as she said, and because of it, we are in this state. Fatima happened so that she can warn us that this was coming and to try to stop it, and the Pope John Paul did not do as she said, and so here we go. Not Pope John Paul, and none of the popes. They don't listen. Because they're not working for God, they're working for the devil half the time. Even if they don't realize it. And they realize it now. And Francis, I am not in allegiance to you. I am a Catholic. But now that I see you buddy with Nancy Pelosi, she's almost as evil as Hillary. She's evil, worse than Hillary. You two are in cahoots? That's a bad day for everybody on planet Earth. That is it. I'm not even praying for you anymore because it's too late. You've obviously sided with Satan and sold your soul, Pope Francis. You're not even the real Pope. Benedict is. And you know what, guys? I made a video about this before and nobody realized this. The trial run was if they can boot out a real Pope like Benedict and put in a fake Pope called Pope Francis, then they could later on get Donald Trump or a president they don't like out of office and rig an election and put a fake crony in there too. And that's what they did with Biden. They did it in the papacy and now they did it in America. We are done. We're screwed. It's done. It's checkmate. Satan got the Vatican and now he's got the United States, the free world. He runs the Vatican and he runs the United States. The rest of the world will comply now. It's only a matter of shouting now. Everything's done but the shouting. Christians, draw close to Christ while you still can. We're running out of time. And it's not going to end well for us. Well, it will end well if we make it to heaven. If we make it to heaven. But from here on out, it's going to be terrible. Terrible times on earth for all mankind. But Christians are going to get the brunt of this. Because everybody's going to turn against us. Even if they're just mad that we were right. I'm ending this video now. if you don't see that the mark of the beast system is now here, that the Antichrist is now here, that the Bible was true and Jesus Christ is Lord, and that we Christians were right, and all this stuff that they said is conspiracy theory is not, then you are the one who's insane and blind and deaf and dumb, and you know what? You deserve what you get. You need Jesus. You need to ask him into your heart and life now. You need to start going to church before they close them down again, because they will. And you need to be saved because you're running out of time. And I mean running out of time. And my brothers and sisters in Christ, stop with the worldly garbage and the cattiness and the clickiness and the little enough. Be a real Catholic or you're not going to make it to the kingdom either. You better understand what it means to love and be loved, to be merciful, don't just play church anymore. And and a lot of you don't even treat me right, and I'm your brother in Christ. And you don't even hang out with me or help me or talk to me when I'm in church. Shame on you. You're going to be punished for that. God sees that. You're not a real Catholic if your heart's not right. And your hearts are obviously not right because you behave that way. You're behaving just like the world, except you maybe go to church and wear a veil. Remember, many will call Lord, Lord, but I will say I do not know them.